Hi everyone, I'm Robert. This is like a what is this channel, welcome to the channel kind of video. So without further ado, a little bit about me. Born and raised in LA, lived and worked around the US for a few years, and now I'm currently in Dallas. I started this channel, it's called Decentraligio. It's a science and religion and philosophy channel that's educational, and hopefully it'll be means where we can all like learn and grow together, and it's hopefully like a little bit funny. Maybe not like funny, but um, like like that kind of funny. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. So this video is the first in what I expect to be a kind of vlog style video that's meant to facilitate a kind of meta-modern or post-positivist accountability, which to like reduce bias. For example, I have notes to make sure that I say everything I want to say. I have a mic on because y'all don't need to hear all the traffic that's happening. That kind of thing. As well as, approaches. I won't go too much into it. It'll make a lot more sense later. But needless to say, that approach seems very necessary given the aims of this channel as a project, which brings me to the aims. Number one, I want to increase scientific literacy. It's important. You can never have too much of it. I really want to grow our understanding of how conclusions are reached in science and in theology and philosophy, because they are different ways. I want to discuss the strengths and weaknesses of empirical approaches to causality, which is another way of saying the strengths and weaknesses of modern science as a means of gathering knowledge. Number two, I want to facilitate the dialogue between religion and science, while preserving both the reverence for religion and the rigor of science. It's difficult, but it's possible. Citation. I want to move those who are already interested in organized religion through and past the deconstruction phase. It's necessary, but it's very easy to get bogged down in it. And we know what the next step is, so let's move that along to the reconstruction phase, as one could call it. And I want to provide the spiritual but not religious community, also known as the nuns, N-O-N-E-S. I want to provide them with a new frame to view organized religion, to reopen that option for community building. Because the number one complaint I hear about the spiritual but not religious community from those who are in it is that it is really hard to find community, which is a central thing in organized religion. It's a huge reason why people do it. So those are the aims. In terms of the content you can expect to see, it'll be science, primarily psychology and neuroscience, and religion and philosophy, sometimes just one, sometimes all three, sometimes two. We'll see. But for now, I identify with the Christian label. It's what I know best. So a lot of the religious content will be in the Christian modality until I become more well-versed in other traditions. But I do intend to become more well-versed in other traditions. So in terms of my approach for that, I'm operating under the assumption that I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot. And I can always know more about everything. So I will continue to learn alongside you, and I'll relay what I find out. But I'm not starting from zero. I've been doing this for a decent amount of years already. I have a master's in applied neuroscience, and I'm working full-time in a neuroscience lab right now. This channel is fully unaffiliated with my work in that lab, but I am en route to a PhD. I do intend to get a PhD in cognitive neuroscience. On the religion side, I've read the Bhagavad Gita. I've read Enkat Iswaran's translation of the Upanishads. I've read Idries Shah's book on the Sufis. I've read the Pentateuch, which is essentially the Torah. I'm working through the Bible for the first time, and then once I finish that, I'll move on to the Quran. And there's a ton of other relevant stuff that I've taken in. I won't name them all, but here's a picture of my bookshelf, just as a primer, Man, look at all those books. Books! So as I take all of this in and attempt to synthesize everything that I'm learning into a cohesive worldview, I will inevitably be wrong, and I'll have to course correct. But to paraphrase a line from a great book by some guy, I have to always allow for the possibility that everything that I don't know contradicts everything that I do know. And there's way more that I don't know than that I do know. So I'll be learning and growing and gaining new context and refining my thoughts until the day that I die. And maybe longer, you know? Do we know for sure what happens after death? I don't know. There's some really interesting research at University of Virginia looking at qualitative experiences of past lives in young children, because apparently they can remember them. Maybe I'll do a critical review of that at some point. Speaking of which, weird transition, types of videos to expect on this channel. I've structured them around the types of articles, scientific publications that any scientist would understand and expect to see. So first, opinions would be videos like these with few, if any, citations. Content will vary wildly from meta stuff, like stuff about itself, like this, to reactions to scientific developments and other people's hot takes, or I'll maybe just wildly speculate about whatever I want in the hopes that someone will be like, excuse me? Actually, no. And then I'll learn something. And that's science. And that's collective sense making. And we love that. Type 2, reviews. Reviewing existing evidence and drawing conclusions. I've already done one of these, the Sabbath video that I posted a while ago. I'll link it in the description and there if I know how to do that. I may summarize single concepts like Antonio Damasio's somatic marker hypothesis about what emotions are, or the etymology of the word sin, because that's really interesting. Or books. I may review books and their key ideas, like Carl Jung's Synchronicity book, or Brian Murarescu's The Immortality Key. Endless options. Tons of content coming your way. Type 3, analyses. Some scientists are able to make their data freely accessible without restrictions. So I may do a secondary analysis of their data to give you an idea of how we come to these conclusions and the limits of... It's really hard to say in science that you've proven something, even though a lot of people like to bandy the word prove around. And I really want to give you like a participatory understanding of what it actually means for a study to have demonstrated something. So things like that. I have a video coming out soon breaking down Andrew Huberman's breathwork video, where he showed that double inhale is better at increasing positive emotion over time than mindfulness meditation. So there's that. And then the last kind are studies, like original research. This would be a very long way off. But hopefully, eventually, this channel will grow to the point that an ecosystem kind of constellates and forms around us, and then we can perform research as a decentralized community, and that would be amazing. I would love that. Yeah. And then maybe there's other kinds of videos. I don't know. We'll see. It's really whatever seems like a good idea. So, yeah, that's the channel. See you soon. I think that's it. All right, later, nerds.